don't know if anybody saw the Dave Chappelle new special he had on Netflix, but I watched it 2 times actually, and I wasn't even going to make a video about it, but it's been kind of marinating in my brain because it's like very specific things that were kind of said and brought up. Because it is now considered extremely controversial because apparently Dave Chappelle is now transphobic, despite the fact obviously not being, transphobic at all. Comedy is a thing that you should be able to just get away with. You shouldn't have to like cater to someone else's desire to be offended by the things that you have to say, because at the end of the day, in my belief, just words that come out of our mouth, it just clicks and whistles. So you're getting offended by someone making a joke, like big fucking deal, right? So the whole special, he brought up some pretty good points, like there was a rapper or SoundCloud artist, I don't know, never heard of this man, but he's called DaBaby. And DaBaby actually murdered somebody in a parking lot at Walmart. No backlash, right? You killed a man in cold blood. Whatever, his career wasn't halted at all. But he hurt some, gay people feelings whenever he was like making a rant about homophobic words, slang, whatever, and it ruined his career. He got in a lot of trouble for that. So we're at this point in this country now, I'm sorry, I'm used to the screen being over here, but we're at this point now in this country where you can't hurt gay people's thoughts or whatever, but it's just acceptable to kill, another human being. We're at this point in society, and I think, like, even as somebody who's fucked up like I am, can see a fault in this. What does that say about the people on Twitter? What does that say about the people that are all into cancel culture? It makes no fucking sense. I am a bad fucking guy. I've admitted to this, I don't know how many times. I'm open about it, I don't hide it. I don't play pretend. I don't sit there and like try to, give off this narrative that I'm actually a really nice, sweet human being underneath it all. I'm not like that. Like, I'm pretty straightforward, especially on my channel, about how I am. These people are just out of their fucking mind. Like, at least I have some, like, a level of sense where I know that, maybe I shouldn't be acting like this all the time, or maybe I shouldn't be doing specific things like that. It just makes no sense, right? But the irony of this whole thing is he had a friend named Daphne. Daphne was an up-and-coming comedian, I should say. And she was opening up for Dave Chappelle. They were friends, I guess. He was talking about like they were like slowly becoming good friends, but she ended up killing herself because after his Sticks and Stones special, the Twitter mob just kind of went off on him because how dare a black man have a different opinion than what, the narrative for woke mob mentality is. So she made it like a little tweet where she was just talking about like he's not transphobic, he's a fucking comedian. He doesn't punch back. Like, he's just one of those people. Like, he's not gonna attack somebody. He's just gonna point out like hypocrisy or whatever. He's a comedian. That's what they kind of do. You're supposed to be able to laugh at yourself. If you can't laugh at yourself, you shouldn't be laughing at anything else. That's like a golden rule when it comes to comedy. So she made the tweet. 6 days later, she committed suicide. Now she had a daughter, and who knows if Twitter had anything to do with it, but come on, it's fairly fucking obvious that Twitter was the reason that, her demise came to happen. And because of this whole new special he had, the woke mob's trying to cancel Dave Chappelle again, but he's too fucking powerful. He's like Joe Rogan. They can't be taken down. Which is good, because if more celebrities would have the fucking iron brass balls to just hang down and just be like, nah, I'm not canceled. I don't give a fuck. Like, the best thing you can ever fucking do in these situations is never apologize. Don't ever break down and be like, I'm sorry. Don't have, like, some PR team try to make it up for you or whatever. Like, who fucking cares? If people don't like you, they don't like you. If you don't apologize, more people are going to respect you for that. That's just how it is. I actually have people like that with me. I don't apologize for shit. I may apologize for, like, something I feel like I did wrong or said something weird in my video, but it's nothing like any dramatic or whatever. Like, I've done some, horrific things I've said in the past. I don't feel sorry for it. To me, I don't feel like I did anything wrong, but I know for, like, a societal viewpoint, it's what you would consider, like, what the fuck, Justin? Baz, what are you doing? It's like stuff like that. And it's kind of funny, because if you actually read up on some of these tweets, it's moments like this I wish I had Twitter for the 25th time, but I would be banned in an hour. And it's the fact. It's what it is. These people are sitting here more concerned about him making a couple jokes, and the fact that these very same people who had, you know, a problem with it are very possibly the reason that she committed suicide. That's a conversation that nobody on Twitter seems to be ready for. I think it's kind of fucked up. A little bit. You know, someone like me thinks it's kind of fucked up. So why are there more people not being outraged by this? I don't personally understand it, but I want to say I understand it because, you know, it makes sense. It's one of those like oxymorons. Like, it doesn't make sense that people are not upset and up in arms about this kind of shit for the appropriate reason, as, you know, Dave Chappelle mentioned that. Now, for fun fact, I love Dave Chappelle. It's one of those shows that I love so much, I kind of wish I was able to do a reaction for it, but I can't because I've already seen it all. Like, I used to watch the Chappelle Show all the time. It was one of the few shows on Netflix I actually watched back in the day. And, you know, the other set of people are just, dude, I don't know. Like, I can't even process this shit. I guess it makes sense that people are mad because, like I said earlier, it's like a black man that's able to have his own opinion about things, and it's not part of this, like, woke mob mentality, which unironically enough is like a majority of white people, which just kind of goes down to, like, are black people even free anymore? Because, like, I know, like, everyone knows slavery is supposed to be over, but, like, we have this mental slavery thing now. And it also goes in hand with comedians as well, because comedians are kind of like slaves to this. And I kind of feel like Dave Chappelle kind of, like, freed, not hypothetically, but, like, virtually he just freed the comedian slave by, you know, just saying, like, fuck you. Like, in his own words, he said Twitter's not a real place. I've been saying that shit, and I like that he said that. It was actually my favorite quote of the whole thing. Thing from his special that really stuck out with me, and which kind of made me to, you know, want to make this video. It's been reflecting in my mind constantly, and it comes down to Daphne when she was just saying, I don't need you to understand me, I'm having a human experience. And I may have butchered the wording of that, but it's just, what she said has been echoing in my mind. I think it was a human experience, yes. And it's just kind of like, I love that. I really, really love that. Because she's living in the moment, or she was. And it's very, I want to say it's sad that she wasn't around for much longer. Like, look, I make fun of trans people sometimes. To be fair, I make fun of everybody. I'm not doing this out of hate or anything like that, because I don't really hate anybody, but I hate everybody, if that makes sense. Like, I don't give a fuck about anybody and their problems in the world. But it's not like I hate them to hate them. I just hate them because they're just stupid. You know? But no, when it comes down to it, like, this woke mob is just kind of like, you have to do as we say, or you're part of the problem, even though you're... I thought Black Lives Matter, and these same people are just kind of like, no, you can't think the way you want to think. So, like, in a sense, white supremacy is, in fact, unironically, the people on Twitter. I don't know. It makes sense to me. It's funny to me. What do you think? Yeah, if you haven't seen this special, I would highly recommend it. Dave Chappelle, as Daphne said, is a master of his craft. He's one of the funniest, if not the funniest comedian we've had since George Carlin. It's a goddamn shame this is his last special for a little while, because Dave Chappelle is fucking amazing, and there's really no debating to that. That's not even up for debate. I'm sorry. Your ideas that are opposite of mine just don't matter at this point. So I don't know, let me know, have you guys seen the special? What'd you think of it? I just do want to say, you know, rest in peace, Daphne. It is always a shame when somebody gets to that point because of, you know, fucking you know, they were fucking, like, young adults in college and shit that have no life experience and grasp in reality of the real world or anything. But, you know, rest in peace, Daphne. On that note, I'm going to end the video, so thank you.